Welcome to another episode on our channel. This is going to be a different kind of unboxing. Obviously, you're used to seeing her do unboxings of 1/6 scale action figures or accessories. This is my kind of unboxing. I can't tell the name, but this is, well, wrong way. This is, well, if I do this anymore, it's going to fall off the doggone table. It's the reason I got this tarp down to protect the table. It's made by a company called Ridgid. I think it retails better part of $400, give or take, depending on where you look. But here's the thing. Consider this a public service announcement for any of you who might be interested in doing any woodworking. You got to look for it. But Home Depot has these things on sale, brand spanking new, for $129. I just scored this thing. It's happenstance. You go on any of the woodworking forums, especially like on Facebook, and everybody's talking about the $129 planer from Ridgid. Good luck finding them, though. Those things, obviously, they're flying off the shelves. It's very difficult to find one, not just because they're flying off the shelves, but because Home Depot is being somewhat tight-lipped. Occasionally you'll see it if you do like shopping part of Google, and you type in RIDGID Model R4850. You might not get anything, but you might get a hit. So you click the link for the Home Depot, and they may say, by then it may say out of stock. But you go over and click your, whatever town you're in that's showing the Home Depot of your town, and it'll show you, assuming you have one close like we do, show you, I don't know, well, for us, get about 8 different ones at a time. And every now and then it'll say limited stock, aisle such and such, bay such and such. You may or may not get there in time to get it if you want it. But for $120, you can't buy a decent electric hand planer, a good one, for $129. Now, I actually have I bought one electric hand planer once and it was garbage and I took it back. I enjoy hand planing. In fact, I should have started out this episode with my different hand planes. I have more than one, let's put it this way. Everything from a little box plane. Can I get that? There we go. A little box plane all the way up to a very long Stanley. No, actually, it's not a Stanley plane. It's a Miller Falls plane. Meant for joinery. I like it. I like using a hand plane. But as the previous episode, you saw this. This is the top for a friend of mine. I'm making him a workbench. I hadn't planned on putting this. I hadn't planned on doing this episode, but I don't know if you can see it very well or not. There are some. Here, let me get right in here. It's a good illustration. Right in here, here, a bunch of it here. These are called tear outs. And red oak is notorious for tear outs. I had never worked with red oak planks before. I worked a little bit. I'm not a fan of red oak the way it looks, but I'm more used to using the side grain. That does okay. That tends to plane up okay-ish. You got to be careful, but you can do it. But this flat board, I thought I was just going the wrong way, planing against the grain with my hand plane. So I flipped it around. I thought, no, I'm not. I thought, okay, well, maybe I was. So I planed the other way. And sure enough, I got even more tear outs. It's just driving me nuts. So I thought, boy, that $129 planer, if I ever find one before the holidays end, I'm gonna jump on that sucker. And lo and behold, I found one, fairly nearby too. I have one regret getting this. I regret I didn't get two. There were two on the shelves. And then, stupid me, I could have bought two, kept one, and then put the other one on Craigslist. You'll see a lot of Ridgid R4850 model R4850 on Craigslist right now and on Facebook Marketplace right now, going anywhere from $200 to $300. Some people are actually trying to sell them for $350, which is, yeah, well, bless their heart. Good on them if they can get it. But no, that's not going to happen. $200 ones will probably sell pretty quick. I wouldn't pay $300 for a $320 planer when it's on sale. I thought these things were around $500. I was wrong. In fact, I told one of the viewers this thing was 75% off. I think these things retail for $375, something like that. So that's what, 60%. A little more, 65% off. Bottom line is, it's only $129. Literally cannot buy a good quality electric hand planer for that. Can't even come close. I spent $110 about a year ago on a very good restored antique Stanley number 3 or number 5 plane. I can't remember which. It's from 1903, and the guy that sold it had just meticulously restored it. It was so nice that I'm afraid to use it. So it's, I had every intention of using it, but I got this thing. I thought, this is from 1903, and it is in wonderful restored condition. I'm not going to be the one that messes it up. So I was going to do an unboxing on this thing. I don't think I will. I'm just kind of making that command decision right about now. But again, just call this a public service announcement for the Ridgid R4850 that's being occasionally sold by your local Home Depot. I did find out something about how Home Depot does its sales. Apparently, it's not uniform across the country and across the state. Each store, apparently, from a couple of sources that I consulted, they have the flexibility to put certain items for sale at discounted prices for certain, they're basically their own sales promotion, whatever they think is appropriate. And that makes sense. If an upscale neighborhood, they may not have a need to move a bunch of planes or offer a bunch of planes. So I'm talking a real, like Orange County, California, or west suburbs of Chicago. Some of those are, where I worked, west suburbs, a very long time ago, at a hospital. No, it's you're not going to get too many people worried about saving a couple bucks on a planer. They'll go out and buy the best one. Ridgid is kind of the middle of the road brand. Some people hate them. Some people swear by them. Some people swear at them. But yeah, as opposed to, say, rural Missouri, the closest Home Depot might have a sale, and the next closest Home Depot may be 20 miles from there. But here in my part of Southern California, I got one 1.5 miles from my house due west and one about 3.5 miles due south. And you do a search and 8 will show up within very comfortable driving distance. So there you go. Public service announcement for Home Depot. I can't believe I'm doing that because I'm a True Value Ace Hardware guy. I don't like going to the big box stores. You go in the little, and especially if you're just starting out doing stuff, handyman stuff or woodworking stuff at 1/6 scale, action figures, you might want to consider your Ace Hardware or True Value hardware store. You walk in and it's a little mom and pop, often very small mom and pop shops. And you get concierge service when you walk in the door. What can we help you find? And they know where everything is at. If you need bolts or screws or any kind of fasteners, they have a whole section where you can just buy a single bolt with a single washer, with a single nut, with a single lock washer. And they'll hold you by the hand and take you there and help you find what you need. You go to the big box store, you got to buy a case of the doggone things. Good, yeah, they do sell individual ones, but you're on your own. You don't know what you need. So that's my impromptu video for tonight. I was going to unbox this thing. There's not much to it from what I've seen from one or two other unboxing videos a few years ago. You got the height adjustment. I think that's the height adjustment handle, and you have another crank over here, and that's pretty much it. You will see me using this though when I either make the drawer pull for the wife, or when I further down the road when I do make the other workbench that's made out of materials that you have to buy that's still pretty doggone cheap. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, feel free to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and when you hit the subscribe button, be sure to turn on the alert button, a little black bell. That's in the same button as the subscribe button. It'll let you know when we put up a new episode. We try to put one up pretty much every day. So you'll see this thing in the near future assembled. Again, not much to it. Put a couple handles on it, and you'll see me trying to use it. I've never used one before, ever. I've always used either electrocam plane or the old style hand plane, which is basically is a sharp knife, a sharp chisel set at an angle, and you push it along the wood. But anyway, I hope you've liked what you've seen, and I also hope that you have a very good night.